Welcome to this virtual reality training for restorative practice with children. In a few moments, I will bring in Emily and Jonathan, who have had a disagreement. Please try to resolve their issues in a calm and balanced manner by reading out loud one of the three options you see in front of you. I will give you feedback on your selections throughout, and at the end will give you a score based on our restorative practice procedures.
Emily, would you like to tell me what happened?
Great start. Always invite the wronged party to start the conversation.
Jonathan was saying that my family don't have any money and they don't care about me.
I don't think Jonathan meant it.
You should not make that assumption. You should be attempting to find out how the confrontation made them feel.
It made me cry and I felt embarrassed. Everyone was laughing. I wanted to go home and not come back to school.
That must have been awful.
I can see you are trying to keep the conversation neutral, but you should be inviting them to discuss how they feel now.
I'm still really upset.
Emily, what would you like to get out of this meeting with me and Jonathan?
Good. Establish what the boundaries are for the meeting.
I want him to stop saying those things.
Jonathan, can you tell me what happened out there?
A little confrontational. Try to remain neutral towards Jonathan while you establish how everyone is feeling.
Nothing really, I was only joking.
It was actually quite a mean thing to do.
A little too accusatory. Try to remain neutral towards Jonathan while you establish what happened.
Yeah, I suppose.
What about this did you find so funny?
A little confrontational. Try to remain neutral towards Jonathan while you establish the background.
Well, I noticed that Emily never has dinner in school like the rest of us. She always sits on her own to eat a packed lunch. I was only teasing her.
So you thought that maybe you could have a joke with everyone?
Good. Try to understand his viewpoint. Keep him talking.
Yeah, I guess so. I didn't mean to make her cry.
How did you make her cry?
A little too confrontational. Try to remain neutral towards Jonathan while you establish what happened.
Well, I shouted over to Emily, having sandwiches again then Emily. Then everyone kind of laughed. So I carried on for a bit.
How were you feeling at the time?
Good. Establish how Jonathan was feeling at the time of the incident.
I guess I thought it was funny because everyone else was laughing.
How did you feel when Emily started crying?
Good. Establish how Jonathan was feeling at the time of the incident. Gain as much detail as you can.
I didn't really notice. I guess I was too into it to pay attention.
So you were caught up in the moment?
Good. A show of empathy. Encourage Jonathan to look at the situation as a whole.
I guess so.
Do you really think that was a nice thing to do?
A little too aggressive. Try to get Jonathan to think about how Emily would have felt.
I guess I shouldn't have done it. I didn't mean to make her cry.
Emily, is there anything you'd like to say to Jonathan?
Good question. Encourage Emily to express how she is feeling by engaging with Jonathan.
I was trying to explain earlier, but everyone was laughing and no one was listening.
What was the reason you think they were laughing at you?
A little confrontational. Encourage Emily to tell her side of the story. Ask what she was trying to say.
It's because I have diabetes that I can't eat certain foods, so my mom packs me a lunch to keep me safe.
That's a really lovely thing for your mum to do, Emily.
Good. Show an understanding of how Emily feels.
Yes, it is.
Does your mum care about you like that, Jonathan?
Very confrontational. It is an unfair question to put onto Jonathan. We are not accusing Jonathan of anything here. We are here to settle a disagreement between two students.
Yeah, that's kind of her mom. I guess she does care about her a lot.
Do you feel bad now about what you said to Emily?
A little confrontational. Establish if this changes how Jonathan feels now he has all the information, and if he would do anything different if he was in the same situation again.
I do feel bad. I didn't mean to upset her and I should have listened.
What do you think needs to happen to make this right?
Good. Let's see how they would like to conclude this meeting and right any wrongs.
Yeah, I won't do that in the future. I will listen more.
Emily, are you happy with that outcome?
Good question. Establish if the wronged party feels her aims of the meeting have been achieved.
I really wanted him to stop. I'm just glad he listened eventually.
Don't you think there's something else you should add, Jonathan?
A little confrontational. Open the conversation up for a possible apology.
I guess I should say sorry.
Emily, would that be acceptable?
Very good. Hand over to Emily to see if she is happy with the apology.
Yes.
Over to you then, Jonathan.
Good. Hand over to Jonathan.
I'm sorry I upset you, Emily. I won't do it again.
That's okay.
Well done, both of you, for coming together like this.
Bringing and keeping them together. Good response.
Is there anything else either of you would like to add?
Check once more if there is anything else anyone wishes to say. Very good.
No, thank you.
No.
Thank you for your help resolving Emily and Jonathan's falling out. I am sure that they are once again firm friends. Based on your selections throughout the experience, you did not score well by our restorative practice procedures, and we would recommend running through the application again to improve your reactions. If you wish to run through this application once more, then please reload it from your headset's main menu. Thank you again for taking part.